everyone, and welcome today again with our new episode of EURES TV. I'm your presenter today. My name is Kevin Sigma, and today I'm not doing this by myself. I have two table guests here with me, and of course some guests online with us through the video connection. We wish we could have had everybody here in the studio today, but due to some transportation issues, this was not possible. And of course we have some guests that live further away than just the Netherlands. First of all, at the table, welcome Peter Loef.
Nice to be here, thank you.
Excellent to have you here, and of course welcome back Toine.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
It's great to have you both here. We'll be talking about some interesting subjects that you have to offer. And we have another interesting program for you planned for today. We have 4 on-site reports of different employers and job seekers sharing their story and their information with you. Of course, we have a interesting topic about training programs here in the Netherlands for EU workers. And we have our colleagues from the different countries sharing some of their experience and information with us at the desk with Hani Eilers. All in all, a full program for job seekers, employers, and of course the EURES network, so we hope you enjoy it. But first, let's now switch to our first report on site. We asked Hani Eilers for us to go to Schalkwijk and do a report on site at Zachtfruit. So let's see how that went.
My name is Hani Eilers. I'm a EURES advisor in the Netherlands. And we are here with EURES TV to film at the company Zachtfruit in Schalkwijk. We're going to talk to the employer as well as to an employee. So, let's go and find them.
Welcome at Zachtfruit Schalkwijk. I'm Nicole and I am responsible for the employees. We grow a lot of soft fruit like red currants and blackberries. We did it the whole year, and this is the high season. So at this moment we have 140 people who are picking the red currants.
You work together with EURES?
Yes, that's right. We work together with EURES.
Can you tell us something about the cooperation with EURES?
Yes. So if we know how many people we need for the summer, for the high season, we make the
vacancy
vacature and put it on the LTO website, and then employees can apply for it. People contact me directly as well, but also the supervisor from the abroad. Yeah. I have also contact with them, and they send me different CVs, and then I will contact the person.
Okay.
This year we have a lot of people from Slovenia and Slovakia, and Polish people as well. We have accommodation for 50 people, so that is also the amount what we need from the EURES company. And the 50 people having a bike and a caravan, mobile home, and an hotel, so they can choose what they want, to stay in a hotel or to stay at the camping. Yeah, and they have a bike, so they come to the work by bike, and they need them as well to go to the supermarket after work.
Paulina, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us for EURES TV. We'd like to ask you, how did you get this job? How did you find it?
I look in the internet site, in the website from EURES. And I find some, also I put seasonal work, and then I love this country. I was already in Denmark, in New Zealand, and I liked Dutch. So Holland. I like Holland, that's why I was putting seasonal work in Holland, and then I find...
Great that you found it through the EURES website. And are you here alone, or did you come with somebody?
I come with my young nephew. It was his idea, especially because he wanted to do something in the summertime, to use the summertime, to holiday time, useful, or that does the summer have something. So he wants to make some little money, he wants to see some country. So we'll find this, when we'll find it not very fast, but fast. And then we'll make some contact and we'll have direct answer and direct positive answer. So after 1-2 weeks, we was here.
Yeah, you did email directly to the company.
Yes.
The company,
but the contact of company I find in EURES site.
That's great to hear. Why in the Netherlands?
I was here already for 2 years and I like this country and I like to show to my nephew how perfect organization you have in this country with the bicycle, also especially with the bicycle. You can hear, also you come everywhere, you come much more easier with the bicycle like with the car.
We saw the bicycles outside here.
Yeah.
Are you coming to work on your bicycle?
Yes. Yes.
Great.
Yes, you do also something for the figure. Also you are direct,
but you are working very hard already. Okay,
It's
great.
okay.
So you're working here, this is your workspace, but you also have an accommodation where you are staying. How is
Yes.
that?
We have accommodation in the heart from the farm, also in Schalkwijk. And we have some, also you have some hotel behind the pack room. Over there is not some big pack room where they do the work with the fruits, that they can go to the shop. And after this pack room, we have some hotel, also you can get in either some rooms, or you have some caravan. We have everything inside, also toilet, shower, kitchen, wash machine, table, 4 beds. We are 4 people inside,
So that's great.
It's like holiday.
We're gonna look at it
Yes,
later
you
on, but
are
thank you
welcome.
very much for now in your
welcome.
workspace. It was really great today to be at the company Zachtfruit Schalkwijk. We really had a nice interview talk with the owner, Nicole van Wel, as well as the employee, Paulina. It was really great. Kevin, we're coming back to you to the studio, but before that, we're gonna pick some cherries and bring them to you.
Wow, some great reporting there from you, Hani. Thank you so much. And very interesting to see, of course, how a company utilizes mobile workers from the European Union and, of course, all the member states and the opportunities that they have to offer and also the challenges that they face. And I believe, Hani, you picked us some fruit. So we can share it here in the studio together. Oh, there we are. Perfect. Thank you so much, Marleen. Excellent. Perfect. Well, look at that. Well, that's a beautiful arrangement. Let's not start eating it now, I think, because we'll have a little bit of mess.
It'll be messy.
It will be messy. We'll enjoy that later. So thank you as well to Nicole, of course, from Zachtfruit Schalkwijk for the delicious fruit, and Hani for picking every single piece for us. Today, also joining us through the video wall is Maria Custers from LTO, the Netherlands, and she also has some information to share with us about the cooperation she has with the different companies that work in seasonal jobs. Welcome, Maria. Welcome, and good to have you here in our show.
Hello, everyone.
Great to have you here. Maria, can you tell us, can you indicate to us what it is that you do and what it is that LTO does?
LTO Arbeidskracht is part of the LTO Netherlands, which is the biggest national association of employers for the agriculture and horticulture sector in Holland. And my responsibilities within LTO Arbeidskracht are to bring together Dutch employers from the agriculture and European job seekers to make successful matches. I'm also responsible for managing website seasonalwork.nl, processing vacancies, and of course my job includes contacts with job seekers, employers, and EURES advisors.
Okay, well, excellent to hear. We just watched the report from Zachtfruit in Schalkwijk, and do you think that's a good example of a cooperation between employers and LTO?
Yes, this company is definitely a good example. Labor-intensive employers in agriculture and are dependent on mobile workers. This Zachtfruit company has found the employees through seasonalwork.nl. There is a collaboration with EURES via this platform. This Zachtfruit company shows how you can still find motivated employees despite the shortage on the labor market.
All right, so but then can you also tell me why do candidates choose seasonal work and what is important for them when they come to work in the Netherlands?
Most of the candidates are coming from Poland or Romania, but as you can see on this view, people from many different European countries are seeking for a job in the Netherlands. Job seekers on seasonalwork.nl platform, in collaboration with EURES, are often financially motivated to come for work in the Netherlands to earn more money.
That's, of course, always a great motivator. But what advice would you be able to give employers regarding housing, and what would you like to pass on to them in tips or in advice as well?
The agriculture sector in the Netherlands offers job seekers work of varied directions in different seasons. This is attractive to job seekers from abroad. And what is very important when you come to the Netherlands, you need to know what are your rights and obligations. We advise all the people to prepare themselves before travel to the Netherlands. And this information can be found on our website, seasonalwork.nl, in different languages, like in Polish, in English, in Romanian, or Ukraine. But I also want to mention about some tips for the employers, because very important is for employers to provide good housing, and this is essential part of being of a good employer. People coming to Holland, they work hard and therefore they have rights to decent and clean housing. LTO always advise to the employers to provide certificate housing. And also employers, they have to ensure a pleasant working environment and good working conditions for employees. As an employer, you have to show that you value your employees. Also ensure good secondary employment conditions, like arrange health insurance for your employees or arrange the healthcare allowances for them. You have to make sure you do all these things to be a good employer. This is my advice to all the employers in the agriculture.
Yeah, perfect. Well, last and certainly not the least question, how do you experience the collaboration with EURES?
For many years now, LTO Arbeidskracht closely cooperates with the European Employment Service. This cooperation with EURES is of added value for us, and both LTO Arbeidskracht and EURES are known as high quality and reliable organization. This motivates employers and European job seekers to work with us.
All right, Maria, thank you so much for that information and for being here with us today. Hopefully next time you can join us here in the studio live at the table. Just wanted to thank you again. Have a great day and hopefully see you again soon.
Thank you very much for having me. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Joining me here at the table today is Peter Loef. He is the Senior Policy Specialist, Labour Migration at the ABU. Peter, welcome. Can you tell me what the ABU stands for and what it is that you represent?
Yeah, the ABU is an organization that employment agencies can be a member of if they can meet to the highest quality standards we have. That's very important. What we do is to represent the interest of the members in the political arena. We enclose a collective labor agreement and we help them to put the workers in work in the country. We also have a lot of information on our website for the international employees for them to come to Holland. So see our website on that if you're watching it. But very important that when you work with or work for an ABU quality firm, you can be assured that there is secured that it's good.
Yeah, and what can you tell us about the way the Dutch labour market is structured, like in terms of flexible contracts, etc.?
We have a lot of flexibility, but start with there are 9.5 million people working in the Netherlands. 55% of them are in a permanent contract, 29 in a flexible contract, and from the 29, 60% is self-employed. Yeah. So, and the Dutch labour market is very tight at this moment. 143 job vacancies at 100 unemployed people. And in 2020, there were a little more than 900,000 people working as a temporary worker in Holland.
That is a lot. Those are amazing numbers. And that is also what makes it interesting, the amount of opportunity that there is in that sense. There's been some changes recently, some interesting changes that protect mobile workers from the different member states, of course, in the collective labour agreement for flexible work. Can you tell us something about that?
Yes, I can do that. There are two pathways. One on the arena of the collective labour agreements and one on the legal changes there are. When COVID starts, there are some problems that were already in Holland there came to the surface. So the government conducted an investigation, and some of the reports that came out are now very important, significant for great changes in law. So an employment agency may only send people out if they are certified. That's very important. And hirers will be fined if they work together with uncertified temporary agencies. So that's very important, but that's only coming into effect in 2025. So that's wait for 3 years, that's a long time. And another change, very important change, is that the contract for housing must be another contract than the contract for working. So that's a very important discussion a few years before. So there will be 2 contracts.
And that last pathway that you said is already in effect? It's in discussion, but it's only becoming on effect in 2023, we hope. 2 very important changes on the labor agreement is that the first 2 months that an international worker comes to Holland, he is guaranteed of 2 months income. So even there's no work when you come to Holland, you have income of 2 months when you come here. So that's without, even when there's no work. So that's very important. Another very important thing is that when the contract ends, there will be 4 weeks left. You can stay in the house. Okay. So you have to pay your rent, but you can stay in the house and find another job and another house. Yeah, so some excellent changes for the protection of the mobile worker.
So we, as ABI, we don't wait for the changes in law. We go directly now and do things.
Excellent. And there's many ways to check, of course, but do you have any pointers that a mobile worker can check if they're engaging with a trustworthy employer?
Yeah, we have. There's a lot of information. I'm glad you asked that question, because when you come to Holland, there's a lot of information you can see how to prevent working with wrong agencies. I think they will be shown on the screen behind. You can find it at the Chamber of Commerce. You can find if they're registered in the Chamber of Commerce. The company is included in the Stichting Normering Arbeid. That's a very important register. See if there are some judgments against the company. There's also a website you can check this. And there's a checklist for good housing. So you can also see on that check mark, that quality mark, that which house is good and which house is not.
Right, because housing is a recurring topic in a lot of things that we do now from EURES as well. Do you have any best practices regarding housing and supporting measures for mobile workers?
A lot of good practices. So there's also a website for. There's a website on the screen. You can see, and then you can see all the best practices there are. So when you come to Holland, there's a lot of information to prevent problems.
That's very, very helpful. Okay. Very important, of course. Can you share any tips for future mobile workers that might be interested in working in the Netherlands or in any EU country?
Yeah, the Dutch government made a website, another website, and another link on the screen, where you can see everything you have to arrange when you come to Holland. So that's also available. We have on our website short films, videos you can see, and then you know what to do. Where to go, to the registration, to the doctor, everything is on site. So please do this before you come to Holland, because it's a risk, but if you do it well, there will be no risk.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, thank you, Peter. Excellent. I think that these insights are valuable information for all of our viewers. So I really appreciate you sharing this, of course, with us. We're a little bit limited in our time, so we'll show at the end of this program, again, the links on site so people can do some more research on that themselves later. Moving on to our second report, and this time through our colleague Michael Stok, cross-border advisor in the area with Germany. He went to Adego in Dingsperlo, and that company has cooperated with EURES and the local public employment service for a while now. And they have a best example of how to hire people just across the border.
My name is Michael Stok and I'm a EURES cross-border advisor working for the Dutch Public Employment Service, UWV. Today we are here at Adego and we will be interviewing the General Manager Hans de Volder. Adego is situated in Dingsperlo, just a stone throw away from the border with Germany. So let's go and talk to Hans. Hello Hans, and thank you for having us here today. Well, can you tell us something about yourself and what Ardego does?
Okay. Ardego is a small company, subsidiary from Kamin & Schmidt, a German company, and we are the part that's developing gas fireplaces and manufacturing. From the moment we started here, EURES UWV entered. I believe it was the first or the second day we had the key of the building, so it was very quick after we started. And about 2 weeks after that, we had the first conversation with our employees, and these guys, these two guys, the first guys, are still working here. So yeah, for us, the cooperation with EURES UWV is very helpful and beneficiary, and still is.
What suggestion would you give them to the other companies when it comes to finding personnel right here in the cross-border region?
It's very clear. Don't just look at people that come from this region, but look a bit further. And I think people over 50 aren't written off. There are a lot of very healthy, energetic people over 50 that can do a job better than a 20-year-old. Of course, there's a lot of talent in young people, but there is still a lot of energetic talent in older people and people from other countries. People and workforce don't stop at the border. So like it's the same like doing business over the border. Over on the other side of the border also live people with good education and talented people. So there is the only thing that you have to do is keep working with guys like you and all the other organizations. You just have to look and you just have to knock and to say, I'm here, please look for me, and then things start happening.
Well, many thanks for this talk, Hans. We appreciate your openness, and of course we value the good cooperation and relationship we've built over the last years. Thank you very much. Now, what a great opportunity to interview this nice company, Ardego, here in Dingsbelo. But I think now I'm off just across the border for some coffee and kuchen, and you're back to the studio. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you, Michael, for some excellent reporting. It's like you've done this on a daily basis, and I hope that coffee and kuchen tasted wonderfully. This episode, we do not have a quiz, I'm sorry to say, but we have something better. We have Hanny Eilers as co-presenter today, and she will be connecting with two of our colleagues from the EURES network. So let's switch to the desk and switch to Hanny.
Hello and welcome, Susanna and Anissa. It is great to have you here today in our show, in our broadcast, and thank you very much for joining us. We hope you like it as much as we do. But first of all, Susanna, thank you and congratulations to you being the first and one and only winner of the quiz of the last broadcast. You were the only one with all the right answers. But today we don't have a quiz, but we are definitely interested in your work, in yourself, of course, in your daily work with EURES. So we're going to start with some questions. Susanna, can you tell us how your cooperation with the European employers is?
Hello, Hani. Thank you very much. Well, my cooperation with employers from Europe is very good. Although I am responsible for the employers from the Netherlands, I cooperate also with employers from the European countries like Germany, Austria, or Sweden. They offer vacancies like hotel staff, workers in McDonald's, or some seasonal jobs. Now I focus on summer jobs, summer seasonal jobs, and I'm involved in a seasonal project with the Netherlands, with my Dutch colleagues. It started in 2018 by a study visit in the Netherlands when we visited LTO Arbeidskracht, and also to employers. They showed us their farms and their working conditions, so it was very interesting. And this cooperation continues It was stopped for a little while during pandemic, but now these days we are also cooperating again.
That's very interesting to hear, and also a great example of supporting European mobility. And how about Sweden? Can you give us some examples of a trend that you experienced recently with international mobility job seekers or European job seekers? Anissa?
The biggest trend we recently have with the international job seekers is that COVID-19 pandemic caused many employees and employers to ask about remotely work in the EU. It's a valid question, and both employers and employees got taken by surprise during the pandemic, and we don't really know how many positions got filled on these terms. The problem is not to work remotely within a nation, but the problem occurs when the work country is different than where they live.
Thank you, Anissa. So how about the labor markets in your specific countries? Can you tell me something about the Slovakian labor market, Susanna?
Slovak job seekers are mainly looking for a job. They're looking for a job which is well paid, and if they can't get it in Slovakia, they are looking for it in Europe. Even if there are some shortages in Slovakia, we can still offer job seekers vacancies in the same field in Europe because they are really well paid. So Slovaks used to go to work abroad to earn more money, to work more hours, and then come back with some savings.
And for you, Anissa, can you give us some insight from your country?
The unemployment rate in Sweden is a bit over 6%, which is lower than before the pandemic. And for the youth unemployment, the rate is about 8%. So competition for jobs is expected to be high for professions such as bankers, estate agents, shop assistants, and also telephone operators and caretakers.
Anissa, do you also have some specific candidates that are interested in international opportunities in Europe?
Yes, the specific candidates are young people depending on language skills openings. For example, young Swedes moving to the Netherlands for customer service jobs. Another group is an important part of entertainers moving to Spain for work in the hospitality industry.
Okay, thank you. And Susanna, can you tell us what is really important for employers to think about before they are starting recruiting?
Employers, I think, must think about housing first, because job seekers would like to know where they will stay, if it is secured for them. And also, the very important is to state the amount of salary job seekers will earn, because I think job seekers wouldn't apply for a position without the salary, which is not stated there. And also, employers should think also about maybe a language barrier. Sometimes there may be a language barrier, and the solution may be offering them language course.
That are very useful tips, Susanna. Thank you. And then last question to Anissa. Do you have some tips for our viewers? Can you give some advice?
Yes, actually, I have 4 advices to the viewers today. The first one is to contact EURES service in the work country to support you. The EURES advisors can give advice on job opportunities in the country you aim for and provide detailed information on living and working abroad. The second one is to define a career plan, building on your qualifications, abilities, and regional preferences. The CV is the third one, and a CV should not only describe what you have done, but also what you can do and what you will bring to the company or the new workplace. And finally, before packing, think about to get the job and sign a work contract that gives you the opportunity to apply for TMS, Targeted Mobility Scheme, that will facilitate your relocation.
Thank you both very much for all the interesting examples and informations you gave us, and especially for our viewers. We hope that this information and tips they gave you new insights in the international opportunities with the EURES network in Europe. If you are interested or inspired, or you want to know more about the topics, please send your questions, information to our email address, workinthenetherlands@uwv.nl. And see you soon in Europe. Then back to Kevin and the rest of our broadcast.
All right, Hanny, thank you very much for your, of course, co-hosting here today with us. And so good to see all our colleagues from the different countries. Hopefully again, well, like I say, many, many times before, live here in the studio, perhaps someday. But otherwise somewhere in Europe. Well, moving on to our next report, we have an interesting report done by Jurgen Bakker with a mobile worker that moved to the Netherlands, not just for the work, but also for love. So let's just quickly go to Jurgen's report.
Hello, my name is Jurgen. I'm a EURES advisor for the Netherlands, and today we're in Alkmaar, the cheese capital of the world. And we're meeting Karen, a mobile worker from Denmark. And I think I see you. Can you tell me where you're from and why you're here?
I'm original from Denmark, from the west coast of Denmark. And yeah, so we got the nice beaches as you have here in Holland.
Okay.
So that's really nice. And I came because I married a Dutchman.
Okay.
So I gave up my things in Denmark and came here.
Yeah, was it hard?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really hard, but yeah, you know, yeah, I have my grandchildren in Denmark, so
you miss them.
Yeah, I miss them. So and my family. So, but it's okay. I like to be here anyway. Yeah.
Was it your first stay in Holland, or you've been here before?
No, never been here.
So it was all new for you.
All new. Yeah.
And how do you like it so far?
I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, really a nice country, a nice place we're living here in Alkmaar. So yeah, I like to stay.
Is it different than Denmark? Or?
No, I think the Dutch people are like similar to Denmark. They are, yeah, the way they are and act.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
pretty
kind,
similar than the Dutch culture.
Yeah, it is.
How did you experience the job search?
Yeah, when I first came into how it works on the internet, then it was good. But I had to contact you a few times to see how I could how to do it properly. Yeah. So yeah.
Right.
At the end it worked out. Yeah.
At the end we contacted the VSP, the employer service from UWV, and they helped you to find an employer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you had a trial day last week. Then.
Yeah, I did, and it went so well. It's so similar to Denmark. Like also again, to go into a nursing home like in Denmark and do the caretaking of the elder, and yeah, and they were great to me. They were really patient and try to teach me some Dutch, Dutch words. Even the elder did that, so it was so nice. Yeah,
that's very good. And I heard that they want to see what's possible.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to everything to fall in place, and that's about also so what you have to help them.
To see with your diploma and
what's similar to the Dutch diploma. Yeah.
Okay. And for the future, what do you see for the future?
Yeah, when I can talk the Dutch probably, I would like to work as my original
as a full
nurse. Yeah. So, and that will come when I can the language.
What does EURES mean to you, and do you have any tips for us?
Yeah, EURES means for me that everything went smooth, that it was easy to come here, and because I got the contact from you, and I could contact you when I have any questions, and you helped me by everything I had to do to get in the whole circle of things to do.
The process of things you need to do.
Yeah, exactly. And the tips I will give to others who come here to Holland is just to contact you, to call you, to make an appointment with you, and to talk with you. So it's very easy to deal with you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. What an excellent story Karen just shared with us. I'm ready. I'm going to buy me some cheese, and we're going back to the studio.
Well, thank you, Jurgen, again for some excellent reporting, and of course, Karen, for sharing your story with us. And I hope you find some cheese there, because I don't see anything in the studio here yet. Maybe Marleen will surprise us with a basket of cheese. Otherwise, you know where to find me if you want to send me some. Again, interesting story. In the studio here with us is Yvon Remers from InAmsterdam. And Yvon, we will be talking about, of course, what you can do for international workers. So welcome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and the organization that you work for?
Yeah, I work for Amsterdam International Business, and we are part of the municipality of Amsterdam. We support international operating companies and international talent with a personal approach by connecting people and talent in our region. Part of Amsterdam International Business is InAmsterdam, and you already mentioned us. InAmsterdam stands for International Newcomers Amsterdam, and we are a one-stop shop for international newcomers in the part of Amsterdam, and we are helping international employees and families with all the paperwork and information about living in our area. We serve companies and their highly skilled migrant employees, scientific researchers, international entrepreneurs, international graduates, and important group, the accompanying partners. For the accompanying partners, we developed a job orientation program.
So you mentioned the job orientation program. That sounds interesting. Can you tell me something about that?
Yeah, the job orientation program is part of the program to support international talent that already lives in the Amsterdam area. The program is a new approach to help accompanying partners to find a job or develop their career in the Amsterdam. Many partners of internationals have come to live in our area and already have a career in the land of origin. And many, although are highly qualified, are not always easy for them to find a job on the Dutch labor market. And we know it's really important for people to have a job and really feel home and connected in the Netherlands.
We see there's a lot of shortages, of course, in different sectors and in the Dutch labor market. Does your program just focus on specific sectors, or is it for all sectors?
Now, our program, really the focus for our program at the moment is the healthcare sector. So there is really a big shortage in the healthcare sector. So the main focus for us is now the healthcare sector. We have a pilot and we're starting slowly also for the childcare sector, and we are looking into the tech sector. But this afternoon, it's starting at 3 o'clock this afternoon, we have an information session about working in the healthcare sector, and 120 internationals are coming, and we hope that we can inform them about working in the healthcare sector.
Those are interesting numbers. And how do you work together with EURES in this job orientation program?
You're a big part of a program because give general information about the Dutch labor market. That all comes from you. And if we have internationals or they find us through our website, then we recommend them we refer them to EURES, and you give them all the information they need and give them guidance for their career.
Well, sounds like an excellent cooperation, and I hope we can keep cooperating
for a
long time in the future. Thank you, Yvon, very much for joining us here today. And next time, of course, we hope to have you live here with us in the studio. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right. Over to our final report on site, the final report of this episode. And you might recognize him from EURES Vision 2021. Of course, no one other than Peter van der Ginten. He went for us to EW Netherlands and to talk about a project that they have in the technical sector. So Peter, excited to see your report.
Hello, my name is Peter van der Ginten from the EURES Netherlands. I'm here in the beautiful city of Genemuiden at Installatiewerk Nederland. They have a very interesting project, and Ralph and Maarten will tell me more about it. Please follow me. Hello Ralph, good
Hi,
of you
Peter.
to have us here. Please tell me, what is your function here at EURES?
My function is manager of workforce. I specialize in candidates that are a little bit older. We get the candidates from fairs. We also get them from directly from the schools. Me personally, I get a lot of contacts from our website. It's quite difficult. I think our brand still has an image of you're working with your hands. It's not so very popular. It's not a clean job. It doesn't pay very well, but it's actually contrary of that. Maarten and me started off looking for statistics for the best candidates within Europe. And these statistics came from the website of EURES, and we thought, hey, what is EURES? So we called EURES up, and within a few weeks we had contact with you, Peter, and with Ulrich, and that's how the whole project started. The project itself is concentrated right now around EURES Italy. We asked EURES Italy to promote us within Italy to get some candidates for Holland. And we had quite some success right now. We had around 40 or 50 CVs. In the first half year they will start and get a basic 5-day training. After half a year they will start their education.
Yeah, and how does the education, do they work with, is it 5 days at school?
No,
or
it's 4 days
or?
working, 1 day theory in school, and once in 2 weeks they get also practical training. We'll end up with a real diploma and you can work all over Holland and all over Europe. This year we probably can start with 3 pilot candidates. We have to evaluate. But I'm seeing a really bright future with a lot more candidates and also from more countries.
We're here at the Center from Installatiewerk Nederland, and we're training installation mechanics. We have 2 different things. We have electrical and we have installation, and installation is working with gas, water, heating, cooling.
If you see 10 years ago or now?
Yeah, the big difference is 10 years ago the heating was with gas, but from now installations who are built are without gas. So we have to make installations for the energy transitions without gas.
What kind of companies can they work?
They can work everywhere, in industry, in houses, in hospitals, in big buildings, in smaller buildings, everywhere. Everywhere is energy needed.
Okay, Maarten, thank you very much for having me. Do you have anything to add?
Yes, sure, Peter. To show you that almost anybody can do this, I'd like to invite you to practice something with me. So would you like to go with me?
Yes, let's try. The pressure is on. Very interesting project. I will keep practicing and you will go back to the studio.
Well, thank you, Peter. Some excellent reporting there, and I hope you didn't burn down the building, but I think you've managed to make us something beautiful. Excited to see it. Also, thank you, Maarten and Ralph, for, of course, your project, sharing that information with us. Very inspiring, and also for me, I'm very curious to see where this project will lead. So I hope we'll get some updates on that as well. This is, of course, an excellent example of a cooperation between an employer, a training institute, and EURES. And here at the table with me is Toine Witters to talk a little bit more about that. Toine, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Toine, can you tell me? You just showed us this project, or we just watched this project. Why do you want to show us this?
Yeah, I think the cooperation between EURES the Netherlands, EURES the Netherlands, Italy, EURES is a very good example of how EURES in the EU works. There are 3 partners involved, and they all benefit from our mutual cooperation. In this case, the Netherlands and EURES have the benefit of a good employee for a period of 3 years. And Italy gets a well-educated and experienced employee in return, who is most valuable for any employer in Italy. And that's called reciprocity, and that's one of the main core values of EURES the Netherlands.
Yeah, excellent word. Again, we've named it before, reciprocity. And what more can EURES mean for Dutch employers?
Yeah, our team of EURES advisors does basically three things. We give tailor-made advice to employers who want to recruit in the EU. That means that we can give information about in which country your vacancy has the best chance to be fulfilled. But we can also advise you about the administration process. It's sometimes complicated. But we also advise you on the onboarding process of the new mobile worker in your company. The second thing that we do is we support those employers with the actual recruiting process within Europe. We have a network of 1,200 EURES advisors all over Europe. And if we have an interesting job opening, we present it to our colleagues, and they search for us for good candidates for that specific job opening. And we also can organize job fairs in some countries, or in a specific country, or do that online. And the third thing that we do is we help job seekers all through Europe who want to work in the Netherlands to find a job over here. And that's very interesting for Dutch employers, because if the job seeker wants to work in a sector where we need them the most, yeah, it's terrific. It's bingo for us, and that's very important for employers to have good employees.
Yeah, excellent. And of course, as EURES, we wish that every placement would be successful. I mean, that's what we try to accomplish. What are the main criteria to make it successful?
Yeah, I think that basically starts with the good intentions of the employer who wants to recruit within the EU. We need to know that the employer is willing to treat the mobile worker exactly the same as he treats his Dutch employees in his company. And that's called fair mobility. And in practice, that means that an employer pays the same salary, he offers satisfying work for the mobile worker, he gives a decent employment contract in a language that the mobile worker understands, and he makes sure that the mobile worker is properly introduced, but also properly insured. So in the end, these are actually normal things that goes for any employee in the Netherlands.
Yeah, and when we're talking about advice, because there's a lot, of course, that we can still advise to companies and what they can learn, of course, through tips that you have. What advice do you have for Dutch employers if they want to recruit within the EU and the EEA?
Yeah, I think first of all, it's important to know that there is a huge competition between employers in the EU. In a lot of countries, we have the same shortages of staff. For instance, in the EU, there are over 425,000 job openings for truck drivers, and this also applies to other branches. For job seekers, that means they can shop between countries. How is housing organized in Germany or Denmark? What do they pay me in Spain or in Belgium? Or what contract do I get in the Netherlands or in Norway? So for any employer, it's very important to distinguish himself from all the other employers in Europe, in the EU. And you have to make sure that you are attractive for those job seekers in the EU. And that all starts with fair mobility, as I called before, but also with the guarantees and the certainties which you have to offer. And you also have to be creative. One way to be creative is to offer mobile workers good education and career opportunities. And we, from EURES, we can help you with that. So my best advice would be get in touch with us.
Yeah, well, excellent. And I think on that note, we will slowly go towards the end of our show. So thank you very much, Toine, for this interesting information and elaborating on the project and sharing it with us.
You're welcome.
Also interesting information, of course, about what EURES can do for you, not just the job seeker or the employer or within your network, but for anybody that is interested to work and live in a different country or want to recruit in a country here in the EU or in the European Economic Area. This also brings us to the end of this episode. And before we end, first of all, of course, I would like to thank our guests here at the table. Peter Loef, thank you very much, and Toine Witters, you as well. And joining us digitally today, Maria Custers, Yvon Remers, thank you very much. And not to forget, Susanna and Anissa joining us all the way from their countries in Sweden and in Slovakia. Hopefully you've enjoyed the interviews that we've had and the reports on site that we showed you. And maybe this inspired you as a viewer to maybe join us either in the services that EURES has to offer or perhaps in a cooperation that you would like to showcase. So please do not hesitate to contact us and share your experience with us. The email address will be shown at the end of this clip. Also, if you would like to rewatch this episode or any of the former episodes, please go to our website, EURES.tv, and also find there more information about the services EURES has to offer for you. So, we hope to see you again sometime soon, healthy and well, somewhere in Europe. And for now, I thank you and see you next time.